How you doing, YouTube? Policing Pips here, and we're just going to do a quick breakdown of today's trades. I did a live stream earlier this morning. Today is July 22nd, 2021, and I just wanted to go over what happened after the live stream ended, sort of set up what happened during it, and how my trade ended up playing out, right? So we'll get right into it. Today, I ended up only coming out with, a little bit over $150 or something like that, but to me, that was a big win for the day because of the way I managed the trade, how I planned it out, and how it eventually turned out. But took a little while. So let's just jump right into the chart here, and I will show you what happened. All right. So right here we have the S&P futures pulled up. My hypothesis on the day was to let that first candle close. I had my levels drawn up here. The overnight high was at 43.61. Overnight low was at 43.46. We had the previous day high here at 43.48. And the previous day close was 43.52.75. We opened almost spot on with the previous day close, so there was no gap to fill as far as that was concerned. I kind of watched price action develop through the morning a little bit here. I did enter pretty soon, only because my thought was, hey, if it's going to break and hold above this level here on the, I'm going to zoom in a bit on here so you can see it. That's way too far in. Jeez. All right. So how I saw it as it was playing out, I entered here on this candle right there at around 8:45. My thought was if it breaks above and holds above the previous day close and the VWAP, that it was likely to accept and clear out some of the inventory up into the overnight high from the overnight session, right? To me, markets don't like to be inefficient. We did come down, touch off on the overnight low, so we cleared out some of that inventory and we started to break back up. So I figured, hey, maybe we're going to clear out some of that overnight inventory as well and see what happens. In the pre-market, we did get a number of increased jobless claims. So we did have that come out around here. You did get a little bit of sell-off. It was worse than expected. However, it's not that shocking anymore to markets, so I don't think it's enough news to push anything lower. This gray box here, to me, acted as a serious resistance yesterday, and I believe it was going to act as a value area today or a point of resistance. Okay. So I entered in here. Markets immediately sold off. I told people on the live stream I didn't place my stops tight quick on this trade or many of these trades, is because I know there's going to be some manipulation. So I got in on that candle thinking that it was going to be a long, but I didn't think I was going to be wrong until we accepted into this zone and pushed down below, right? So I allowed this trade to breathe a little bit. We pulled back down, and then once we touched off on this value zone, it immediately rejected, and it didn't hold below there at all. So I kind of held and grounded out. And on this push up, honestly, I did think that we were going to possibly break out and push up into that overnight high and clear the inventories. We did start to get a pullback here. I did hold off. Once it started to give me this sort of rejection here, I didn't want to take that super full loss, right? We were up a bit at that point. So I did place my stops just down below this value zone, this gray box here. So I placed my stop pretty close too, very tight, right around that 43.41 level. And I allowed this trade to do what it was going to do, okay? I still felt that this level of support was too strong for anything to happen, for it to be broken. Even with no good news or without bad news, and even some of these jobless claims, I don't feel like there was enough fundamental information or enough price participation to push us below here. So that's why I left my stop there. I said to myself, this is the only trade I was going to take for the day. I didn't want to get any crazy in and out scalps or anything like that. Could I have been more patient on my entry? Yes, but I felt that my thesis for the day was correct. So I held on, put my stops to a point where I felt if it rolled through here, it was going to start selling off, and that's really when you start to lose the big money So I allowed this trade to do its thing. I do have a day job, as you may have seen if you watch the channel. So today I did have to get to work. So I allowed my trade to kind of work out and play. Right as I was about to end the live stream was around here. That was about 11 o'clock a.m. I ended the live stream, and immediately at 11, it did sell off quite hard. I just figured, hey, we're going to get stopped out if it does push through this level. But I did still feel like this level was going to be able to hold. And boy, did it ever, right? I got that thing down right to one tick from being stopped out. Didn't move the stop at all. Left it there. It sat there the entire time until I did move it when I did actually leave for work. So it did reject. It went up, and I start work at around 2. So once we re-broke above that previous day close and got back to break even, I figured, hey, even if I end today at break even, I thought my trade management was good. I didn't lose money on the day. Great day. Especially for a choppy day like today. It was pretty sideways. It kind of flipped us in and out. A lot of people could have lost a lot of money today, but I let it ride. I eventually did move my stop kind of tight. I told myself once I left for work, I'm going to kind of manage this position tight, right? If I was still at the charts, maybe I let it breathe a little bit more, but to me, if I just catch a couple ticks, a couple points, I'll be a happy camper. My goal was still to catch it to the overnight high, and boy, did it catch that overnight high. I allowed this thing to breathe a little bit. Once we got through up into 43.58, I did trail up my stop, and I ended up getting stopped at 43.58. I think on this candle, it is what it is. It took 100 and I think it was 162, somewhere around there. I will check. Really, let me check. I'll see exactly the number for you. $162.50 is the exact number. So we got pretty close to that overnight high. Didn't catch it as we're rolling out, and there you have it. At 13.55, we hit off on my initial target for the day. It did take all day, and it never cleared through the zones that I thought. So if I were at the charts and I was able to manage the position a little bit better, could have caught this up into the first target, and it would have been nice, but it's cool. I'm still happy with how I manage my position because I do have rules, and I like to stick with them. That's how you stay in the game. This could have easily hit over here and rolled over, but in the beginning of the day, my hypothesis was if it did clear through that overnight high, clear out that inventory, and accept above, that we would potentially have a nice run up. So moving forward, we did get a little rejection. We pushed back down into that 43.56, and then we decided that it's about time, right about the closing bell, 14.55 into 1500, we broke above. So now this overnight session has seen some pretty nice moves to the upside, right? We got that whole big run up all the way up into about 43.71, 43.72. So that level there was the high. Then we pushed back down, and now we're kind of just maintaining this super flat overnight session, right? We still got our high at 43.74, and currently we're sitting at 43.70. It's about almost 11 o'clock Central, so midnight Eastern time. Maybe we'll start to see a little more volatility again around 2 o'clock a.m. when the European sessions start to roll around. But I'm going to start using these levels when I wake up in the morning. I did say I'm not going to live stream tomorrow, or when you watch this, it might be already tomorrow. But I will do a trade recap. If I do any trading, I will review my week. I'll set up a new video for the weekend, and we'll get to releasing one for you. So I hope that this breakdown of how everything played out today worked out for you. If we want to look at the NASDAQ real quick, it did the same thing. Like I say, they usually tend to follow each other. Much of the positions that I took today were going to be off of these pullbacks and retests. NASDAQ had quite a few opportunities with some of these chart patterns, and if you were watching price action, I was calling it out during the live stream when you could have got in and when you could have got out. I did not take them on this account, but I did on the Top Step, and I did show the results for the day. I ended up coming out positive on the day, even though I took that one loss on the S&P. Came out just about $500 on the Top Step. So another winning day. We got 4 days down. Got to do 10 trading days. I will keep you updated on the status of that, and we'll do a review of Top Step soon. So looking to get funded first, and then we'll go from there, right? So that if we do a little breakdown here, we did break that overnight high real quick during the day on the NASDAQ. Towards the end of the day, that same push up right around 1455, 1500, you got that big run up. You have some good earnings and everything coming out just after the bell as well. So that's pushing markets higher. We made a brand new all-time high in this overnight session. So I do expect tomorrow's opening to have some bearing on that, right? If we end up opening lower than this, markets don't like to leave all-time highs in pre-market and post-market sessions. So we're going to look for an opportunity on that side as well. So I wanted to make this a quick, short, sweet video, quick analysis on the day. Did come out up 162.50, and also on the Top Step, it was a positive day, plus 500. No cowboy hat. That was just for the live stream. Back to the standard baseball hat. If you like the cowboy hat, maybe leave a comment, and I'll keep rocking it. Until tomorrow, I will see you until another day. Peace out.